we improve our IQ, but can we improve the emotional quotient? Because we don't get the train. You don't have a 10th grade course on emotion.
It'd be cool if you did.
I think that would.
I think that would be really, really
Why
helpful.
don't we introduce that? I'm sorry, we don't have room in the curriculum. That's usually what they say. But I like the idea that for some reason, why would people want to start looking at their emotion and become emotionally intelligent all of a sudden? I'm talking about the common man
to
out
get
there.
some moolah. How about that? No.
Somebody has to make money on this. This is the American way.
No.
I'm so sorry about all of this, but
think about that.
With.
Your ability to have a relationship with yourself and others and the world, is really.
That's kind of
it is contingent upon your ability to do something with your feelings. Just is, right? I mean, it's just and that's where feelings come in. They are reflexive responses to internal and external environmental contingents. They arise as a result of that, right?
Right.
Like they tell you something about your inner or outer state. They just do.
Yeah, and so if your emotions take you along a path where you're developing professionally and you're growing and those kind of things, that sounds like a wonderful route. On the other hand, there's these guys that as soon as the boss says something they don't like, they hit them with a shovel, and they can't hold the job. I'm sorry, I'm reflecting back on some patients, but the idea that you
reflecting on your own, this was like first job I think you had. That was.
I've had a lot of jobs I'd like to say a few things about, but no, but the idea that they're so detached from the self-reflective part of it because they're just overwhelmed and with the emotion, and they've lived that life, excuse me, until something happens. The court intervenes, or other people say, "Look, you got to keep the job this time. Do not hit the boss." But that takes some training. What I'm eventually going to say is it takes an event in a person's life for that. It's not sort of it could be a natural recourse, but people who may need to control this and do better in their life path might need to.
This may not be
take
pertinent.
this course in emotional.
But there's an example that I often use when I'm teaching trauma. And it's the idea that you can think of trauma as sort of a contingent, right? There's micro to macro traumas. Right. And that I always get people to focus, okay, let's talk about, everybody's had a little bit of micro trauma today. I'll ask people, when did you wake up this morning? I said, well, you've been up for 9 hours, so in this 9 hours, there's been some micro trauma. Let's take the smallest micro trauma imaginable. Okay. And probably the smallest one, there may be smaller ones, but let's say you're walking in to work, or you're walking into class, or just wake up in the morning and say hello to a spouse or something. And when you wave at them and say hello, they say nothing.
Oh.
And for that moment, you'll be like, oof, man, And at that moment, it generates a disequilibrium. Let's call it a narcissistic disequilibrium because there's been an attack on the self, right?
Oh, okay.
And so the emotional thing you're going to experience has something to do with it's telling you, where it hurts and giving you some indication, and if you know what to do with that feeling.